You want to play?
Ah, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Back
There we
to
go.
Andertons TV.
Yeah.
Pete, the riff master.
The riffity riff.
So
Before we go on, like and subscribe, man. We have to say it.
Have we hit 850 subscribers yet? I don't know. If we have, then we've already given away the thing that's shown below. And if we haven't, we're awfully close to giving it away.
It's very close.
Anyway, and then there's another free gift at 900,000 subscribers. Which
950, you come to their house.
Yes.
In the middle of the night and stand outside looking in the window with the breath coming out like this.
Let me tell you about what today's video is all about. It's about a new set of products from the lovely people at TC Electronic from Pete's homeland of Holland.
Of Dutchland.
This is the AmpWorx series, and nothing new in terms of category here. It's an amp and a pedal.
And it works.
Yeah, it works,
so it's an
absolutely.
amp that works in a pedal.
What you heard there was a DI'd sound, so no guitar amps were used in this particular video so far.
That's why we need to get this out, isn't it, so I can smack you.
Yes.
Remember?
Pete's guitar into a few drive pedals, like analog pedals, tuner and a couple of drive pedals. Out of that into the AmpWorx pedal, out the AmpWorx pedal into some reverb and delay pedals and a looper pedal, and then burst
into your face.
Into the interface. So obviously we're going to talk to you about the features and stuff like this, but the overwhelming kind of thing that makes these a bit of a standout product is how much they are.
Yeah.
They are crazy affordable. These are about 120 quid each. So what's that, like a third of the cost of a Strymon Iridium or something like that?
Yeah. Or like the, you know, I think you should compare these more to the Universal Audios because they are one thing.
Yeah.
They're one pedal.
They are
not
indeed.
3 in 1. It's one amp.
So we're going to take you through all three. The concept of each one is pretty similar, but they've got each of their own sort of unique angles to them. So we've got a combo Deluxe 65. You can guess what that is, right? So 65 Deluxe Fender combo. Jim's 45. I like what they've done there.
Jim's?
That would be a JTM 45. An old
I didn't see the M and the I. I just
clever,
saw the JMS.
So Jim's 45 is a JTM 45, and then the DC30 is an AC30, a 1965 AC30. There's a lot of love for 1965 today.
Yeah, DC, isn't that also the comic thing that Batman is a part of, and that?
You could be forgiven for thinking that perhaps they'd use the matchless DC30, which is in itself a hot-rodded Vox AC30, so look, whatever. Let's tell you about the features that are common to all of them. So they're all the same size. They all run on a 9-volt 300 milliamp supply, so you could use your pedalboard power supply. They all have a USB input, which is just for doing firmware updates at the moment. No editors, no audio interface, no nothing. They have a guitar input and 2 outputs, one with cab simulation, which is what we're using here, and the other without cab simulation. So if you wanted to go into the effects return of an amplifier, which we will do at a later date.
First date, you never go in the back of
Never go in the cab simulated output on the first date, no. They are all 2-channel, okay? So now it's very WYSIWYG this. So 2 channels, red, green, okay? It remembers where the knobs last were.
Yeah.
So I
set
I set my green channel up like this, go to the red channel, set my knobs up like this. When I go back to the green channel, it will be where they were before. It will also remember whether or not the boost is on or off. Again, so if I leave it on the green channel, go to the red channel, you can see it switched off, go back to the green channel, you can see it switched back on again.
It's cleverer than me.
Super WYSIWYG. So let's hear it. Let's go through, the green and the red channel, by the way, are not different voiced channels. They are only different if you set them different.
Okay.
The cabinet emulations are all impulse responses. They're official Celestion impulse responses in a deal that they've done with Celestion. There's only one cabinet response per unit. So
and you can't load any cabinet simulation IRs in here or anything like that? Okay.
It's WYSIWYG. It's that's it, play it.
If I don't ask, then somebody will in the comment section. And you know what? They'll ask anyway.
They'll ask anyway. They've already asked it before you've answered it.
They've already disliked the video before they even watched this.
So let's get this, you're probably familiar. If you've ever seen a JTM 45, you'll know it's got the 2 channels, the high and the low. I was trying to do my 4 input thing like that. So imagine this is a where you've jumped the 2 channels so you can use them simultaneously. And again, you mix up the normal preamp sound is a little darker, the high one is a little treblier. So let's get a listen to what this sounds like. Any reverb you're hearing is coming from the pedal that we've got after this.
Which is, you can buy 40s for, you know.
Well, this is true.
Anyway.
In fairness, there is reverb in the Fender one.
Yeah.
Sorry, there is reverb in the TC Combo Deluxe 65, definitely not a Fender one.
Definitely not. Not even the colours or the knobs or anything.
No.
Okay. It sounds like an amp. You know,
I'm just going to say...
Like, it's not loud in the room, actually, but...
JTM 45 has a killer clean sound on the right setting. It's one of those products that everyone assumes Marshall is all about, you know, classic rock and higher gain stuff, but JTM 45 has a fabulous sounding clean.
Wasn't that the one that Fender based the basement is based on a...
Other way around.
It's the other way around. Oh, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Excuse me.
But yes.
Sounds great, man.
These are my favourite settings now with a little bit of hair. Okay, now we're going to go into more familiar Marshall territory.
Okay.
So this is where we're going to get some gain, we're going to boost up the mid-range and the bass. We've got a Gritador by Brown Amplification on the floor, which is their sort of tube screamer thing. And then pop the tube screamer over the top.
Tube screamer on top. It's not a kind of rock, is it?
No.
It's like... It's got that nasally kind of thing with a tube screamer on top of it.
100%. On the back of the pedal, again, there is a switch and a knob on the back of each pedal that's different on each one. So this is a presence control, and then the secondary switch decides whether you want the boost pre or post the preamp.
Oh.
We had it pre, so it's working a bit like putting a tube screamer type boost into the front of your amplifier. If you put it as post, it will act more as just a level boost. No other control. You can't control what, you know, how much boost there is, just preset.
And it's a headphone job. Yeah. Headphones is great because you have them put them there on your pedal board.
I kind of, again, I feel the same for all three of these. For me, this is either at home next to your computer keyboard and just sat there and, you know, plug your guitar quickly in, a couple of pedals straight into your interface, you know, boom. Yeah. Or it's on a board. I think the beauty of these is they've been designed to be, you know, pedal size. So without taking up any more space than a regular pedal. Yeah. On the board, there's no effects loop on these. So you're just having to put the amp in the kind of the chain of pedals that you would do anyway.
Reverb, tremolo, delay at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a choice then. You know, you can come out the non-cab simulated output to then go into a regular amp, or you can come out the cabinet simulated. You could, if you wanted to, come out both outputs. So one going to front of house, one going to an on-stage amplifier. Yeah. Except that then, of course, it kind of screws up if you want pedals after it, because you can't.
Yes.
You've almost got to have then all your pedals going into the front.
Then you just have to buy 2 of them.
Or buy 2 of every pedal, yeah, that you want after it.
Or just buy an amp.
Anything else you want to sort of hear on the? Do you want to just? Should we just?
Let's see what the outer limits are on it. Take the reverb off now. Don't get scared.
Okay.
I'm not trying to offend anyone, but. I've still got the tube screen on. There's a bit of delay.
Now,
it's all right.
If I remember rightly, yeah. So if I hold the 2 buttons down together, it changes the operational mode. The guys at TC, particularly one of the product development guys, was like, it does freak some people out that you're switching between these 2 channels, and one of the channels will obviously not be where the knobs are set.
Yeah, yeah.
So what they've done is they've given it a mode where the pedal just has a simple on-off mode. So it's completely off now, and then when it's on, the knobs will always, the settings rather, will always be wherever the knobs are right now.
Would that be more for like having it in the effects loop or something? Because otherwise, if there's no sim on, is there still a sim on?
That's true. Yeah, with here no sim.
Yeah, so it's like putting it straight into a DI, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, that's the Jim's 45. Should we jump on to the next one?
We shall.
Okay.
That's nice, isn't it?
So, some knobs are the same as they were on the Jim's 45, so bass, middle, treble. The big difference is here that we've got reverb built in. It is a convolution reverb.
It's so convolution.
Do you know the best thing ever on YouTube land ever was when the last time I talked about convolution reverbs and called them convalescence reverbs.
That's
Which,
true.
of course, the comments section politely pointed out.
I'm not a fan of licking convolutes anyway. It's like when you lick a convolute.
What?
It's a Danish thing.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So
convolute.
That is so it's as well as having essentially an impulse response to do the speaker emulation, which is again another Celestion speaker emulation impulse response. The reverb from a 1965 Deluxe reverb has been
IR recorded,
whatever you call that, impulse response. So you've got bass, middle, treble. It's probably worth also mentioning on here, when you adjust the EQ on any of these, in fact, any of these 6 knobs here, there's a momentary lag between as you adjust it and then as the sound changes. Yeah. And I spoke to the TC guys, and they just said
it saves it, doesn't it? And then it saves it, and then we do that, it starts again.
What they've said was they've designed. So these are the amp modeling bit is modeling rather than profiling, and as you're changing any of the controls in it, it is at a component level telling the sort of DSP chip in here to change everything about the amp in the same way that the amp would react with gain, and the lag is just, so it's not a lag when a playing lag, it's simply that when I do that, there's like a 1/10 of a second delay from me turning the knob to when I actually audibly hear the bass come in.
Yeah.
It is a bit weird. You turn it and nothing happens. So you turn it a bit more and then it happens and you realise you've put too much in. So you kind of have to slightly get used to how that works.
It's like saying the wrong thing to your wife.
Oh my God.
And then you realise you said the wrong thing, and then you say something else, and you can just see her go, oh, there's a lag. Oh, I get it now. Wallop! And you get one right across the face. And then, that's how it works.
It's a perfect analogy, Pete.
For the older gentlemen that are married out there.
So that's something to just be slightly aware of when you get these. I'd have to say that after about 20 minutes of using this, you just kind of get used to it, and but it is a bit weird at first.
20 years as well, you get used to it.
So we talked about the reverb. Now the other thing again, which is different to a Fender amplifier. Now the 65 Deluxe is not a master volume amplifier. The more you turn it up, the louder it gets, and simultaneously the more it distorts as well.
Yeah.
So what they've added here is essentially a master volume. So the gain control, think of the gain control as the volume control on your Fender amplifier, but then having the upside of being able to compensate by turning the level down. Exactly the same idea of 2 channels. Ooh. So again, not 2 channels in the traditional sense of, you know, like clean and distorted, just 2 different variants of where the knobs have been set.
It's a nice format. I like the format of the pedals. It's a good size.
Over the back here, you've got a brightness switch, which we currently have off, and a reverb tone switch, control, sorry, so you can adjust that. So let's go back to where we were. I guess if you did, I'm not a big fan of a driven...
No, it's a certain... You have to have like a Les Paul full whack and then just...
Here is your sort of driven Fender kind of tone.
Yeah, and you have to take that. That's not bad. No. I like that. It's kind of an old school rock vibe sort of thing.
I imagine most of us, though, will, you know, and I think if you look at the popular pedals like the UAD pedals and stuff, the Fender ones are the popular ones to model, and you'll just use them with other pedals. So
exactly.
If we go back to a clean sound on here, maybe dump some pedals in.
Let's try Dane.
Sounds
That's
good.
Fine. There's not much gain going on there, but let me go with that. Gritador.
Nice.
Level down. Isn't that the kind of tone you're looking for with a clean amp? It's kind of a mean, mild overdrive. Let's put a, because we've got reverb there, so I'm going to put a El Cabistan. Sounds great, man.
Yep.
Not what we're at.
Okay, so that's the Combo Deluxe 65. I'm going to jump over to the DC30. We'll do the first bit of the demo into the interface, and then we'll see what this sounds like if we plug it into the effects return.
Let's do it.
So, DC30, as I said at the beginning, trying to model a 60s AC30. AC30 is one, I think it's the toughest of all amps to try and emulate because there's so much compression going on within the amplifier and harmonics, and the speaker's a very unique sounding speaker in an AC30. You think about the kind of bands that have used AC30s, it covers all genres. You can go from Hank Marvin and the Beatles, right?
Brian Adams.
Brian, all the Bryans.
All the Bryans.
And never.
Foo Fighters uses them as well.
I was just about to say, I've never really seen it as a heavy rock thing, but you're right. Chris Shiflett on Glastonbury had Friedmans and Voxes, didn't he? I don't know which Voxes, but anyway.
So they have to be loud as F, man. Shut the front door.
So controls on this, a normal and a brilliant channel, like you would have again on a Vox. Overall level, so that's another feature that you wouldn't get on a vintage Vox, is any sense of master volume.
No.
Bass and treble, and then a cut, which is sort of a counterintuitive. In other words, the more you turn it up, the less treble you hear, so the more it rolls off the treble. A boost, which now actually does have a level control on the back.
Snap.
And I think, again, yeah, it's the pre and post kind of, where does the boost sit? And we're going to have it pre when we demonstrate it. So let's I mean, this pedal probably doesn't go crystal clean in the way that the Fender pedal, but it'll do a cleanish tone if you make sure you don't drive the guitar too much.
Exactly. Let me put some, what are we now, in 60s?
Yeah.
So, that's nice.
If I start to turn the channels up, you'll...
Got that.
Yeah.
Oof.
I kind of feel the AC30, basically, it's like you said, as soon as you get past the clean element of it, it's just, you just got to go for it.
It has to be loud.
It's got to go for it. Of course, the beauty with this is it doesn't have to be loud because we've got the level control.
Oh, it has to
but
be loud,
just gunned, but with no boost.
I'm going to turn the reverb off just because.
We need some classic Brian May.
Like you play that, I can't play classic. Not Brian May.
May, is it?
No, I can't play any.
Just do the power chord. Down, 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 down.
I want to ride my bicycle.
So that's the DC30. Put a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of reverb or something on the back of it.
So. I think it sounds more like the DC30, to be honest. Oh, let's try this one. We have to try this.
Do you want less gain? Oh! Well, look, as promised, let's just finish this by going into the effects return of... which one do you want to do? You want to do DC30 or the Jims into the effects return? I like the Jims.
Yeah, let's go Jims.
We're going Jims.
Let's put in
All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I believe these will be in stock and shipping on next day delivery. 120 quid.
Wow.
120 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, runs off a... It doesn't run on batteries or come with a power supply, so I think the intention is you would either have to buy the power supply as an optional extra or use your board's regular power supply. Sturdy, made of metal, looks cool, super easy to use, and sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So, all right, okay, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a video soon.